quick, before we get into showing these, I wanted to tell you I've got something really exciting happening. My very first magazine publication is coming out this month, September, and it's in the Foxy Rag. It's in Tracy Fox's magazine, online magazine publication called the Foxy Rag, and the article, it's a tutorial, it's a card tutorial, and it's called Botanicals and Blessings, and I'm really excited about it. So they asked me if I wanted to do a code for that, a sale, and I decided, heck yes, I want to. So I went ahead and did it, and I'm offering it to everybody. So I set the sale for between September 4th and September 18th, and you get 20% off. There's no minimum purchase, and you get 20% off of all my digital kits. So I wanted to let you know about that, and I'll link all that good stuff below. So let's get into this. So this summer's been kind of strange. It's been like last summer where there has just been a ton of smoke and from the fires all over the place, especially California and over on that west coast. So and some here too. It's just been really bad, and I haven't been able to go out and collect and hike like I like to. I've just been kind of hunkering down. So I did get a few kits done, and these are all in my shop, and I will link them all below. But these are some really fun kits, and a couple of them came out pretty dark, but I used a lot of botanicals that I don't normally use. I got some beautiful flowers on the trails this last few weeks here, and I just put them in a baggie, and of course, first of all, I snip them. And this is kind of funny. I always like ask the plant real quick, do you want to come? You know, it sounds silly, but it's really, I guess it doesn't sound that silly. It's a relationship from start to finish. When I eco dye, it's a relationship. And if you've done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you haven't done it yet, you'll get to experience the magic of it if you give it a shot. But whenever a plant is like, whenever I get the vibe of no, I just leave it. I walk on, and I never take all that is there. I take a little, and then I move on, and I get a little more if I need the same plant, right? And I snip it with a pair of scissors and put it in a baggie and spritz water in the baggie, and then these can stay in your fridge. I've had them up to 3 weeks. There's some species that do better than others. So when you collect, you want to for sure do your eco dyeing like in a week. I should talk and flip as I go, but see these pretty flowers? Now these are from the grocery store. So when you're out on the trail collecting your botanicals and you get a vibe of no, just walk on, no matter how bad you want it. It's totally cool. There's always going to be something cool up the trail, and or with the trees. These are grapevines here, and I have a couple of bushes of grapevines that I have permission to pull from, so I get those in the city, which I am not in the city. But this kit right here is actually called, before I get too sidetracked, this is Speckled Grunge Kit 2, and it really came out fun. This is with turquoise, it's Rit dye teal, sorry, not turquoise, teal, and not golden yellow. I think it's lemon yellow, or it's some kind of bright, really light yellow. I ran out, so I rinsed the bottle out and put it in the recycle, and I don't have it this time. But, you know, just use whatever you want. I like to use Rit dye. I know that a lot of purists think, oh, it's dye, you know, it's not natural dye. And I get that, and I respect that opinion. But at the same time, I'm going to open myself up to all different kinds of ways to do it. And the beauty of Rit dye is you can really get a lot of beautiful color as you go can see, you know, and you can mix and match your colors. You can mix them on the paper, you can mix them together. The options are endless. Now, when I put these in my shop, I did clean up all the holes. I had quite a few tears in these kits, and that's okay. You know, I kind of rushed through these kits because it was hard to collect botanicals because of all the smoke, and you know, this is hard work doing eco dyeing. So I've kind of, you know, my heart hasn't been 100% in it this year, so you know, that's really the bottom line. So now a page like this, a lot of it's really important to get dye all over your page before you put your botanicals down, but I put a stem in here with these aspen leaves. I find these all the time. I'm in the mountains, and there'll be little branches, sprigs on the ground, and I swipe them up and stick them in a baggie and spray them with a little bit of water and then eco dye with them. But whenever you put any kind of thickness in your kit, it'll pull the leaves away. This is actually a very huge example of the difference between good and bad printing in eco dyeing. When you've got a three-dimensional item, it pulls the leaf away from the paper, and I really tie my kits as tight as I can get them, and even that is not tight enough for three-dimensional. So just know that you're going to pay this price if you put thick branches in your eco dyes, because you want your plants to really fuse to the page. But this, you can still watercolor this, and you could do pen work on this and have all kinds of fun with it. And for those of you who've watched my channel, I've experimented with the watercolors and the pen work on eco dyes, and it's fun. I haven't done a lot of it. I have a couple videos of it, not much, but a lot of times I just play music, and today I figured I'd talk. I don't generally run out of stuff to talk about. So there's that Speckled Grunge Kit 2. And now this one, let me get these others out of the way. Got a lot going on, Oh goodness. You get so much on your craft table, and it's hard to put stuff away because you know you're just gonna get it out again to use it, you know, so why bother putting it back on the shelf or in the drawer? Oh, good grief. Okay, there we go. All right, this kit was strictly done with rust water, and I love how this came out. I'm really amazed at how this one, it's one of my favorite kits, and I like flowers. Not everybody likes flowers, but I really do like to pop them in. Now here's one of my great pages, and as you guys have seen if you've watched some of my other eco dye videos, I like to put leaves on between the grate and the paper just to kind of get some fun prints like this, because otherwise you just get the barbecue page, and it's cool. It's fun for collage, but they can get kind of boring pretty quick, you know? Let me just flip these under. So I just like the faded pale look of this kit and the natural colors coming off of the plants and the rust water mingling with the plant color. And you'll get some pages like this where it's, you know, it's not the greatest composition on the page because a lot of this got faded, but for collage elements, ooh la la. Here's a really good example of that. And then I love this really grungy black that comes through sometimes. And there are leaves, I've noticed maple leaves and scrub oak. Those really tend to give off a lot of black when I dye with them. And I'm actually going to be picking up both of those when I go. The scrub oak I can get by my house, and the maple I have to get in town. So I have a couple trees at a park that I like to go over by. And of course, you know, when you're doing this, like I was saying, the whole thing is just this journey. And it's a journey along with your your botanicals, and it's can be a really natural spiritual experience if you intend for it to be. Now here's some smaller little branch sprigs off of the aspen leaves, and these are lovely because you can still get that beautiful leaf print and get the stem prints too. It's just a total gamble. The smaller the branches, the better, for sure, by far. The bigger, the harder. And, you know, I like the botanicals I was finding out by my house. And it's really funny. Let's get back to that for a second. If something is like, if I get a vibe to stay away from the plant, I will stay away from it forever. Every year that I see it, and my intuition is good enough for me to follow when it comes to collecting botanicals. And I've just learned to really pay attention. And I think when we have the intention of, you know, do you want to be on one of these pages or don't you? And we give the botanical kind of the option. I know it just sounds so funny, but I don't care. This is how I do it. And I think it's a really fun way to do it. And I think that you could really benefit from doing it this way. And the plants, of course, benefit from it. So, you know, that is what I love about artwork so much, is that so much of what I do is such a spiritual experience for me. And you know, I don't get that everywhere in life. I try to set my intention to have it everywhere I can, but artwork, it just naturally flows. That whole just experience, it just flows when you're doing artwork, and you guys get it. I'm singing your song, I'm sure. So now here's some of my other end page, and clearly it tore. And I'm really, you know, I'm kind of rough on stuff, and my artwork needs to be able to withstand me. You know what I mean? Because I don't play I'm gentle with botanicals, but I don't get uptight about stuff. And if I spill coffee on my art, it's all the better. And if there's a tear in it, it's all the better. And I like all the mishaps that happen. So I don't mind that. But when I put these in my shop, I did clean up all the tears, just so you know. Those are taken care of, because I realize that not everybody feels the way I do. And of course, if you want any of these kits and you get one, which I hope you do, and I hope you do, you can always do your own tears on them, and of course do whatever you want as far as creating and decorating with these pages. They're so fun. Now this one I keep taking away. Oh, you guys, good grief, I showed it. This the one I just showed you is Peaceful Morning. I am truly an artist in the regard that I am a disorganized person. I work on it endlessly, and I will work on it endlessly. And it's just this thing that is a never-ending thing in my life, trying to be organized. So Morning Sunshine Kit 2 is what this one is. And I used the same leaves and the same botanicals throughout all these kits because it was what I had on hand at the time, of course. So I've got, these are store-bought flowers. I like to buy the daisies, and I like to buy them a good week before I eco dye and enjoy them. And then when they start to go down, then it's like, oh, okay, I've been as respectful as I can, and now let's immortalize you. And they just come out beautiful. So I really do love to have interaction. And another thing I like to do on the trail too is I quit smoking years ago. I used to smoke, but I don't anymore. But I like to buy a pack of cigarettes and break apart the tobacco and put it in a baggie and leave some tobacco here and there in the woods as I'm collecting, as an offering. The Native Americans, and I'm not sure which tribe, but I've heard that some tribes would do that out of respect, and I love that. And I heard about that when I was just a kid. I've carried that with me my whole life. So I like to do that. You give an offering. Sometimes I'll run, it's kind of funny, I have this long Let me show you. Long gray hair. You've seen me a couple of times. I'm not one of those people that likes to be on camera very much, but I will run my fingers through my hair and get a couple hairs and leave that as an offering too, because I'm taking a part of the trail and I want to leave a part of me too. You know what I mean? Out of respect. So it's so relaxing and therapeutic, and it's such a way to be close to the earth, you know, to do this art form. And it's kind of funny because I've been called a flower murderer. I had one lady who commented on a bunch of my videos and was just super rough, too rough, and I had to block her. Because she was just, it's like, you know, I understand her pain, and I understand that when you see something like this, you can go, oh my God, the poor plant. I completely get that point of view. But at the same time, when was the last time you ate a rotten salad? You know what I mean? When was the last time you ate a rotten piece of fruit? We consume some of these things before they die, because then it's no good to it or us. So it really, for me, is such a matter of respect and honor to I do this with my food too. I love to thank my food for being on my plate. Not only thank Spirit for providing abundance, but I like to thank whatever I'm eating for the sacrifice so that I can be nourished. I don't know. I'm giving away a lot of my innermost self in this video, but it's okay. I like to share it. I like to share those things. It's a wonderful, fulfilling way to live. I can say that. So here's that kit, and that's the Morning Sunshine kit too. It's just fun to have a video where I chit chat. I'm kind of a nervous person, and I struggle socially, and you know, I've talked about it. So I spend a lot of time on my videos playing music, and it's just a lot of the time it's because I want the video to be quick so you guys can get whatever I'm doing and go do it and whatever. But there is so much value and fun in just sitting and visiting for a few minutes. So now I have a kit in my shop called Midnight Blue, and it's kit 1, and it's pretty cool. There's it's more narrow pages. It's fun. Now this one is Midnight Blue kit 2, and I had some botanicals in here. I lost a lot of pages of this kit because I tied this up and they just completely tore on me. So it's okay though, and I cleaned all this up for this kit too. But this kit ended up being 6 sheets, so it's smaller and less expensive. And then the dyes, I used my squirt bottles. I like to mix my RIT dye in squirt bottles, and I'll do a video on that. If I need to remember that I said that, but sometimes I forget and I don't want to upset anybody. But the mix I made was a little too dark. Here's this beautiful little botanicals going like that. So it's cute, but it's dark. It's a dark kit, and it's super grungy, a couple of these pages. And I actually thought about not doing this kit at all. And just to tell you real quick, I always put the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's not, you know, if it's something that I would actually pull and use and tear up and do in a collage or make a journal page out of, then I keep it. If it's not good enough for me, it doesn't make the kit. And some of these pages were just completely destroyed. So just know that if you decide to buy any of my eco dye kits, they are the good, the bad, and the ugly. You might get pages that, you know, all of them have excellent pages for sure, but all of them have a few pages that are not going to be your favorites. So it's just the nature of this art form, of course. But I decided to keep this kit in because of these sheets here. These branches, I get these off of a tree 3, and I'm not sure what they are, but they really print in such a beautiful way. I just love how they come out. And then of course you always get the mirror image. We talk about the mirror image in the eco dyeing world because your pages are sandwiched together, so you're getting the front side of the botanical and the back side, and that's such a fun thing about this art form too. Now on your outer pages, of course, you don't get that. I think this was, I don't know, I may have. Yeah. Yep. Speaking of, here's the mirror image. This is what I mean right here. So, of course, your end page is the outside. You won't get that. But, yeah, there was more turquoise or something on this page that didn't make it onto this page. But look at how beautiful the vein side prints. And then you get this beautiful silhouetted look. And then you get this really bold look too. So, you know, it's just such a fun art form, and that is a smaller kit, and I'm going to make that way less financially than the others just because it's smaller. The other 3 I showed you are, these are 10 pages, so that's 20 images on this one, Peaceful Morning and Speckled Grunge Kit 2. And then this one, I think is 16. I think there's 8. Yeah, there's 8 sheets on this one. Now this is Midnight Blue Kit 3, and I had fun with this. This kit, I decided to, I wanted a lot of rust in it, and I decided, what the heck, let's do another Gears and Leaves style kit. So I love to use my big jar of rusty bits, and I have a bunch of these pieces of flat metal like this with holes in them. These are from an erector set, and I've shared that quite a number of times on here, but I found it at an auction. I love auctions. They're so fun to go to auctions. Oh my gosh, I can get in trouble really quick too. So you want to watch out for that if you go. Your hand will go up without your permission, and oh my goodness, as long as you can cover the bill, I guess it's okay, but you can come home with a carload of stuff and be like, oh, I got so caught up in the moment, what was I thinking? But it's fun. It's such a blast. And if you've never been, oh, by all means, please at least put it on your bucket list. That's a bucket list thing to do. So anyway, erector sets, any kind of sets of old metal that you can pick up work great for this. And then I've got washers and gears, and you just want to make sure they're not, what do you call it, stainless steel, I guess. So you just put it in some water and vinegar, and if it rusts, use it, and if it doesn't, find something that does, you know. That's how I like to roll. I just experiment through life. I just experiment all the time with all different kinds of things. So these are really beautiful, and I'm not sure what species this is, but these are really kind of like these star-shaped leaves, and they make beautiful, amazing prints, and they give off quite a bit of color. Here's some water that got trapped between the leaf and the page while it was cooking. You know, so many people say boiled eco dyes, and I never boil my pages. Okay, move on, Kory. I am really slow today, guys. I hope it's okay. Look at that pretty little leaf, and then I put 1 key in this kit. I think this is the only key, and then the mirror is around here somewhere of that. So that's our first. But yeah, I used the sprays with these too. So this kit came out quite dark, but I actually really like it. I'm going to do a few more kits this year. There it is. There's the mirror image of that page. And I'm going to really focus on doing, I should set them aside. I'm going to focus on doing kind of a watercolor style approach where I'm going to mix the least amount of dye that I have ever mixed. I'm really going to rein myself in tight because I mix my colors quite dark sometimes, and I get really good results, but I'd like some lighter kits just to see just to test it out. And when I get those done, of course, I'll share them with you. And this is funny. I wasn't going to share this, but I will. I was going to make a course out of these, and I filmed a lot of this, and I photographed a lot of this, and it just, things were not working. I tried a new kind of paper. Look at that beautiful leaf print. I had to throw all the pages out because the dye was not adhering. It was not absorbing to the paper. It was this really high-end presentation paper. And I ended up losing all those pages. And I just, everything that could go wrong did. So, but I learned a ton from it. I decided to totally scrap it completely and take all the lessons I learned from it and try again this season to put together a really nice to the point course of everything that's involved with eco dyeing in one place, you know. So but yeah, I was amazed at how hard it was. I'd never tried to put together a course. I just look at those leaf prints. That is so fun. I love Rit dye. I gotta tell you, I really do. So, yeah, it was just rough. And then this kit, I was out of big leaves, so I didn't do the leaves between the grate and the paper. And of course I got my barbecue sheet, and it came through though, but it really made a fun grungy print. Look at this leaf print right there. I love the rust. I love, love, love the rust. It's so fun. So yeah, I'm gonna do some lighter kits and put together a little comprehensive course. And then here's my other barbecue sheet. This one came out fun because the dye had a couple hours before I could cook it. The page got a little dry, and so the dye dried on the page, and that's how I got that look. But yeah, so I'm gonna give it another shot, and I'm sure it'll be fine. And you know, sometimes I go into stuff, I can be a bit of a hack at times, and I will go into stuff thinking, oh, I'm gonna breeze through it, and a lot of times that attitude works beautifully, you know. But for this, it did not. It did not. Oh my gosh, it did not. It was amazing how much trouble I ran into. I can't even begin to tell you. But the value of it is that I really learned a ton. So these are so fun, and I intend on making a lot of fun stuff with these in the very near future. I've got a lot of journal work I want to do this winter, so I'm trying to get all the eco dyes done and get all the paper ready, and then I plan on making a lot of paper kits with graphics and my eco dyed backgrounds this winter too. So that's going to be my focus, and of course I'm going to bring you along for all of that. So if you want to join me, by all means, please do. And if you haven't subscribed yet, of course I invite you to, and I will see you very soon. Have a great day.